Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do an unboxing and initial impressions of the Huawei Mate 9. It's finally going to be available in the US market for about $599 on online retailers. But the main benefit here is this is a definite big upgrade from the Mate 8 from last year. And now we have a dual camera setup, but obviously supported by Leica. This is the same partnership that they worked with when they did the P9 device last year with the dual camera setup. So let's go ahead and open up the box and check it out and see what's inside. The main thing on the box itself, we just have the Huawei Mate 9, Leica, the branding of Leica right there, dual camera setup. On the front, we just have the Huawei logo. On the left side, we just have the Huawei design. Nothing big as far as the box, and then it has some serial information in the back. Let's go ahead and open it up. We're greeted directly with the device. This is considered to be the Moonlight Silver color. Taking it out, we don't seem to have a screen protector on the unit itself directly, but it's a 6-inch, almost 6-inch, 5.9-inch display, 1080p. We do have on the back here the dual setup cameras that we saw on the box. These are Leica designed setup cameras, as well as that we have the dual tone LED flash. One of the other thing is that we have the SIM card on the right. We have an NFC tag on top to be able to read NFC and then initiate the NFC activities. Volume rocker and power button here on the left side. And of course the Huawei branding, at the bottom here. Let's take out the label. And you can see it's extremely very well built. Now, just to do a quick comparison between this and what we had last year from Huawei, here is the Mate 8. This is last year's flagship from Huawei. It was also announced at CES 2016. You'll notice they're pretty much about the same size as far as this, physical size. The shin and everything on the top and the bottom look about the same. We still have the branding of the Huawei here at the bottom. Overall aesthetics on the left side, we still have the SIM card set up on the left. The micro USB is being replaced with a USB Type-C connector, still dual grills at the bottom, same here. It's more rounded a little bit here on the Mate 9 as opposed to a little bit more harder edged, but it still feels the same metallic feel on the casing because it is still considered to be almost like a unibody as far as the back shell. And of course on the back here we're looking at the fingerprint sensor placements, but the same, the LED sensors on the same side, and then we now have, we have now the sensors replaced with the two cameras as opposed to the one camera here. On the top we still have a 3.5mm headphone jack with a microphone. I'm not sure if this looks like an IR blaster here on the Mate 9, but we'll definitely check that out when we open up the box. On the Mate 8 we had just the microphone there. And of course the rockers on the right side for power as well as volume. I'm going to go ahead and power up the Mate 9 just in a second here, and I'm going to take it out of the box, and we'll keep it here in the background, let it complete the first boot. The other thing we're going to check out in the box, what we get included here. There's some nice audio here, and it looks like the device out of the box has already been turned on and configured, so I'm not having to configure the device. These are media devices, so there's a good chance that they were actually just made sure that there's an updated version of the software. We do get a set of headphones, 3.5mm headphones. We still get a USB Type-C to USB Type-A connector, and we have a micro USB to USB Type-C adapter also for convenience. On this end, we have the power brick. This is a US styled power brick, and the rating on here is 5 volt at 2 amps, 5 volts at 5 amps, and 5 volts at 4.5 amps, supporting quick charge technology. Last but not least, we have the SIM tool to be able to insert our SIM card in here, and of course, they do provide us with somewhat of a nice little shell. It's not a case, but it's just a shell that gives us the ability to give some protection to the back of the device. Very nice, kind of matches the color of the device. And then last but not least, just the instruction manual and warranty card information. Phone will be able to go down. Android 5. EMUI 5.0, Android 7.0. It's not in beta. This is the full version of the operating system, as on the Honor device that we've seen earlier last year from Huawei, we did see that it was running a beta version of the software. So definitely very nice to see it full-fledged running. Obviously everything is out of the box right there, and you notice there is an app drawer by default. Here I have Nova, and I don't have Nova here, so the app drawer is present. You'll be able to access it, use it. You can change it, of course, if you'd like, and you can go back to it. And then we have the looping home screen. We do have a few things that are installed out of the box, just kind of a heads up. So we do have, it seems like Instagram, Lyft, Messenger, Booking, News is installed, CNN is installed. We have WPS Office, I think that's just an office tool, and then Sound Recorder, and of course Huawei support. Scrolling one more time, of course TripHound, Twitter, and then of course customer here. We do have also Facebook installed, so that's pretty much kind of wrapping up all the, I would call the bloatware built into this device out of the box. And of course we do have all of the Google Play services installed, between Gmail, G+, Play services, as well as, Google Maps, YouTube, all that good stuff. And of course, we have the Play Store installed here, and we do have the ability of customizing the experience here by changing the DPI on our home screen. So if we go into the settings option, you notice by default it's set to be a 5x5, that's the maximum. You can go to 5x4, 4x5, and then you'll get the different experience there. We have the ability of doing the auto alignment, shaking, of course, to realign the icons, or on the home screen. Badge app, the badge app icons, of course. And then a home screen loop, we'll be able to go do that if you want to keep spinning in and auto rotate when you turn to the left. Other than that, we have the ability to change the transitions between different ones, and of course widgets and wallpapers. Very nice, very simple. And then of course, if you don't want to have this Google search bar, you can remove it. That's something easy to do, not that hard to complete. But one thing I'm definitely very excited about is this. When we convert over from the traditional version of the lock screen on the EMUI 4.0 or even 4.1, where we have that split screen option where we have to go and select which option we want to go to, swipe between the two. All of this is in the past. Now we are definitely going in with that nice black and blue coloring. Auto brightness is set up. You have the ability of configuring it. You can go in here, and then you can have different things. We do have NFC, as I mentioned to you guys, with the original hand. And then going into settings is very simple. We have the ability to go through suggestions. This is Android 7.0 options. Airplane mode, dual SIM management, as this is a dual SIM, nano SIM supporting device. You do have the ability of going with one SIM card and one SD card to expand the storage up to 256 gigabytes. But by default, it has one SIM card, two SIM card slot in there. Wi-Fi with Wi-Fi Plus, of course, Bluetooth, mobile data, and under more, we have the ability to go to VPN, near field communication, which is NFC, tethering, mobile network, and of course calling, depending when you turn on, if turning on a 4G LTE. And home screen style display. Let's go to home screen style real quick. We have two different options. We have the standard and the drawer. That's what they're just calling them. So if you want the standard, this is standard EMUI where the app drawer is not present. Everything is on the home screens. Going into the display section, we have the ability of configuring the different sizes, of course, view mode, font size, everything, daydream. Eye comfort, of course, this is one of the ones that you can turn on, and you'll be able to get warmer tone colors on the display. So let's go ahead and turn on this one. You'll notice it takes out the blue and it becomes more orange. Intended for late night, if you're trying to basically read pretty late on your device. It helps you be able to go back to sleep after you're done. Navigation keys, you have the ability of configuring the different setup. You can reverse the actual, the recents and the back button, as well as bring down the notification shade. And of course, this gives us the ability to just bring it down. But by default, this one just works very, very nice. We'll go back here. Let's go back. We'll go back one more time here. And of course, we can go into fingerprint ID. We can set up the different fingerprints on the device. Screen lock and passwords, of course. Smart assistants. Do not disturb is very nice. You'll be able to turn off notifications during certain set hours. Google accounts to be able to log into your accounts. Of course, regular accounts you'll be able to set up here as well. We'll go back. We have apps, permissions, memory, and storage, of course. Now, this is intended to have a 4 GB of RAM, 64 gigabytes of built-in storage. Out of the box, when it first comes in, we have 49.56 gigabytes of available storage. Everything else is preloaded. Now, we do have a few apps here that are kind of bloatware, which I'm hoping we'll be able to uninstall. Battery, we have a 4,000 milliamp battery. Out of the box, again, it came in about 53%. There is a power saving mode, and as far as an ultra power saving mode, it's supposed to promise us here about 106 hours of standby time if we go into that with 50%. Power saving apps, of course, close all apps on screen lock, apps options, and then low resolution power saving, so you'll be able to drop the resolution on this device to save more power. Of course, other options for optimization, and then remaining battery percentage, I'll be able to turn that on. We'll be able to see it on the screen on top there. Next thing here we have is App Twins. Gives us the ability to log into a same application with two different accounts. So let's say you have two Facebook accounts, one for work, one for family. You can log in with both of those. Of course, it does support WhatsApp, and I'm sure WeChat and all the other applications that support it. Advanced settings, pretty simple as far as what we get here. We have the date and time, language setup, user's profile, simple mode, security, location access, printing, of course, if you have any printers connected to your network, accessibility, other, and then backup and reset, which will be under there. And the system updater is what we would use to be able to update the device. EMUI 5.0 is under the hood, and again, current version is the MHA L29C567B138. EMUI is the system running here, the Huawei Mate 9, the MHA L29 and this is the US model. The MUI version is 5.0 with Android 7.0. RAM, we have 4 gigabytes of RAM. Internal storage, we have 64 gigabytes with 49.56 available. The resolution is 1080p Full HD on this display. It does have the ability of going up to 4K at 30 frames per second for recording on video. So let's go directly into the camera itself. We're greeted with the system. It tells us that you can swipe from the left, and when we can swipe from the right side to be able to change different options. And of course, swipe from the bottom for different modes. And we are also able to enable GPS location. I'm going to say that for later. The camera is black, not because it's black, but it's because I don't have anything right behind it. You'll notice it goes in bright gray. So as they were telling us, we can swipe from the left. We have all these different modes. We have photo, monochrome, of course, to be able to use the monochrome sensor. It says one of the two 12 megapixel cameras in the back is a monochrome sensor. So one of them is black and white, one of them is color. Beauty mode, video, HDR, beauty video, panorama, night mode, night shot, light painting, time-lapse, slow-mo, watermark, of course, auto note, and document scan, which is really, really nice if you ever want to be able to scan, take a picture of a presentation on the screen. It will not only scan it, but it'll correct the actual aspect of the picture so that it becomes flat in front of you. And of course, you can download more. Swiping from the bottom, we have the ability of going into the different options here. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll click OK. We can set the ISO, the shutter speed, and of course the light, and then the f-stop on it, and of course the white balancing option. We do have the ability of going on top here, setting the depth of field option, which will be used to be able to set the depth of field to actually get that bokeh effect using the dual cameras, video options, and as far as turning on to the front-facing camera. Swiping from the right side gives us access to the configuration of the camera itself. The resolution by default, it is set to 12 megapixel, and it is a 4:3 aspect ratio. Now, you do notice here that we see a 20 megapixel aspect ratio, and this is intended to be able to use both sensors to generate a much bigger picture, a 20 megapixel picture, using the two 12 megapixel sensors. So definitely something we can check out to see how the resolution looks on these things. By default, 12 megapixel 4:3 aspect ratio. If you want to drop the 16:9, you need to go down to 9 megapixel, and of course, you have the ability to change the resolution there. GPS tagging, assistive grid, mute, timer. I'll go ahead and mute that. I don't want to actually hear the sound on the shutter. So you have audio control, touch to capture, capture smiles, object tracking. Of course, this is great for when you're doing shots for your kids or your friends and family, or even sporting activities. Volume button touch basically takes your shutter speed, and then ultra snapshot opens up basically the camera itself. It's basically double pressing the volume key, the volume down key will open up the device when it's locked. So that's very nice to have some options here, and of course image adjustment if we want to be able to configure that. Here's the SIM tray on the left. As I mentioned, we have the ability of putting an SD card or a second SIM card. I'm just going to put in my T-Mobile SIM card right now. Right there, 4G LTE on the device. This is directly with T-Mobile. Let's play a quick video just for audio playback. We'll do later. The volume on the unit itself right now is about 70% or so, roughly, and we're getting good playback. So looks like we still have a single firing speaker, but it sounds very nice. Sounds pretty good. Definitely looking forward to checking it out. Again, we have a very nice set of hardware, 12 megapixel sensors on the back, 5.9-inch display, 1080p, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigabytes of internal storage, expandable with SD card, 8 megapixel front-facing camera. Of course, all the nice sensors, definitely very good. A quick charging USB Type-C support at the bottom, and supposed to have a really long battery life on this 4,000 milliamp battery. So definitely looking forward to checking it out. Of course, all powered by the Kirin 960 processor that's going to bring all of this together and just make this a massive powerhouse to be, reckoned with whenever you want to be able to enjoy your content. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you very much for the support. I'll see you guys in the next video.